Congratulations, you won. Congratulations, you won. Congratulations, you won.
On June 17, 2009, 15 years ago, Cartoon Network decided to take a bold risk, a rebrand, which would later be coined as potentially one of the most abysmal rebrands and change of course as a business and as a TV network of all time. In an attempt to compete with Nickelodeon and Disney Channel, both networks being famous for their combined efforts to have blocks dedicated to live-action sitcoms and animated ones, Cartoon Network decided it was time to make what may have been their most calculated risk ever. And man, were they bad at math. This was CN Real. Ignoring the fact that Cartoon Network wanted to try harder to compete with Nickelodeon and Disney for their live-action blocks, this was also a result of the then ongoing writer's strike that lasted from 2007 to 2008. You may find it hard to believe, but the people whose job it is to make shows that are good for big executives and make them money have historically never been treated well. If you ever grew up watching any movie or TV show during this time period, you can easily tell how fast the quality of entertainment was dwindling. Most of the highest rated shows in television took a nosedive in quality. Movies were being filmed and edited without a proper script being finished and often being typed up the day of filming. And tons of bottom-of-the-barrel shows are being thrown at the wall and just given some money as long as they got to air on time, since many writers needed time after the negotiations were settled. Worst of all, this was the era where executives cracked the code and figured that reality television made tons of money. Why pay writers and animators and actors a fair wage when you can just throw out the most uninspired trash known to man and call it a day and get a profit from it? Especially since Cartoon Network at the time was doing nothing but airing reruns. And what better way to make it big and strike gold on a network known as Cartoon Network than to introduce live-action television and reality shows? I actually remember the day that CN Real debuted. I believe I was like going from 4th to 5th grade, or maybe 5th to 6th grade. I can't remember. I was like 10 at the time. But I just remember being so confused as to why the hell Cartoon Network is adding live action shows. Even as a dumb child, I still was like, what are we doing here? What is going on? This doesn't feel productive. Obviously, when you're a kid and summer vacation hits, you want to go outside, and since we didn't have streaming, you wanted to watch TV and catch the latest episodes of all your favorite shows. And then I think that like Nickelodeon was doing their like get up and play an hour a day marketing thing, so they always had like the day of play where you couldn't watch TV for like a whole hour, and that pissed me off so much because I wanted to watch TV, not go outside and the hot California heat where like the average summer day is like 110. Regardless, I couldn't wait to see what awesome new shows Cartoon Network was going to unveil during my summer vacation, especially ones of the animated variety. The biggest plot twist of my summer vacation being Cartoon Network is going to do a complete rebrand. Going to start airing live action shows. And at first I was more than happy to be willing to give it a shot because why not? I'm a dumb kid. I don't know any better. We didn't have streaming, so I couldn't even go around and look for the things that I wanted unless I had it on DVD. So to celebrate the 15th anniversary of Cartoon Network shooting itself in the foot, I wanted to take a look back at these shows and question if they really were that bad, and sort of look back at this with a bit of humorous nostalgia. I mean, they can't all be as bad as I remember it, right? So come along, let's take a look back at CN Real and all that it had to offer. And what a better show for us to start all of this off than the one that basically was the mascot for CN Real.
Destroy, build, destroy!
The basic premise of the show is that two teams go against each other to compete in a competition where the first round they must destroy each other's vehicles, second round they have to rebuild it, and then the final round is them competing in a challenge with said vehicle, rebuilt with whatever they can do in the amount of time they are given, and then the winning team destroys the losing team's vehicle. The winning team is awarded $1,000 for each contestant, so $3K total. What's wild to me, and it kind of didn't register in my brain until I started rewatching some episodes of the show, was that Destroy Build Destroy is hosted by Andrew WK, who's a rock icon most well known for his 2001 album I Get Wet. I didn't know a crazy amount of Andrew WK in terms of like what he does, but even as a kid I kind of remember him from certain things. Some songs, MTV music videos. He has some pretty funny news interviews.
Marry the person you're having an affair with? Yes. You have a large gray cloud scooping down. I want to watch out for that.
If you move, you get your whole energy up. Is that what you're saying?
But then I looked him up and he's also married to Kat Dennings? Excuse me? Yeah, of course. Should have been me who's married to Kat Dennings, but whatever, you can... whatever you want, man. I think one of the most notable things there is about him is that he was awarded Person of the Year in 2018 by the American Association of Suicidology, which is an organization that advocates for suicide prevention, for his, and I quote, consistent and powerful use of positivity to improve the lives of those who hear his music. And I think that's just super cool. Anyway, back to
Destroy, build, destroy.
we're primarily going to be focusing on the first episode of the show. I might do more episodes of Destroy, Build, Destroy later. Leave a like and a comment if you're interested in something like that. But this episode pits the Math Club versus the Skaters, and we get our typical brief introduction to each contestant and who they are, like any other normal game show does, I suppose. Zach is a fucking dork who is
99.998% sure that we're gonna win this competition.
Anthony seems humble, and Chloe did a sick split kick. What the? And these are the skaters, who have a lot more personality for sure. Elijah is the athlete of the group, Ryan likes ramps and bullying these stupid nerds, and Isabella wants to
crush these dorks.
The first task of the game, like I mentioned earlier, is that each team has to destroy the other team's truck. But I didn't mention that they do it through over-the-top cartoonishly crazy ways. Like, let's say, blowing it up with TNT, dropping the car off of a crane, or a human wrecking crew. Honestly, I feel like the TNT is kind of the most effective way of destroying another person's vehicle, but what do I know? You have an actual explosive going on inside of a car. I don't know why you wouldn't choose that. So, the chess club chooses the destroyers, but I mean, why don't you choose the TNT? The skaters have the bright idea to actually choose TNT, because why the hell wouldn't you? And that's why I like skating more than I like math. After they've amply destroyed each other's car, it's time for each team to build the vehicle. The objective here is to create a military Humvee with a tennis ball turret on top of it to shoot targets. Obviously, these children are not alone in this endeavor and have a full team to help them in the construction phase of this.
Once the car gets destroyed, then it's kind of like a puzzle.
And yeah, Anthony, it is like a puzzle. That's why you're my secret underdog that I root for. In between each of the building phases of the show, there's usually like a little Mario Party-esque minigame that happens that can give one team an advantage over the other. So like for this one, each team has to choose a player to destroy 4 walls in a game mode called Wall to Wall to Wall to Wall Wreckage. Each team must destroy the walls and grab flags from inside each one along the way. Both teams then have to pick the weapon that the other team must use to get through each wall.
I am a bit of a martial arts expert.
And Zach here once again is proving that he is a dork wanting to use martial arts to destroy a wall with a bowling ball.
I'm gonna win this competition. There's no doubt about it.
Dude, that was close there for a minute.
After this victory, the skate team gets to do a little bit of trolling and some sabotaging on the math team by dumping a truckload of gravel on the other team's build, which is meant to slow them down. I mean, literally it would slow them down. It's a bunch of rocks, but it slows them down because they have to clean it up too. Now it's time to finally show off their makeshift military vehicles. And this is about the time that you could tell the math club was just tired of each other, because Zach starts off by throwing some shade at Chloe's leadership skills, and Anthony is not having it with her.
She says she plays tennis, but I don't know how much of a big deal playing tennis is compared to this.
Which I think is pretty fair and justified. He has been getting walked on this entire episode. Now we're at the final game. Each team gets to put their makeshift military weapons to use. Each team gets the chance to shoot their military vehicle by choosing one teammate to be the gunner seat up top. Both team chooses the girls, I guess, which is fair, I suppose. The other two have to push them around. The objective is to shoot tennis balls at targets to get a certain amount of points per each hit, and the team with the most points wins. It's pretty simple, straightforward. I like it. I don't know. It makes sense. It's a good payoff to make a makeshift Ed and Eddie style military vehicles, I guess. The skate team is absolutely destroying the math club in the beginning, but the math club quickly ties it up, and both teams end up going pretty neck and neck throughout the competition, and I gotta say, it's pretty exciting if I'm being honest. Also, side note, I don't think Andrew WK gets enough credit for being such an exciting host for a show like this. Live action game show on Cartoon Network of all networks is a really hard pitch, but he makes it so exciting and fun to watch, even for a kid. I think he was the perfect choice for this. I don't know, I just feel like it's only right to give Andrew WK his flowers for doing something like this. And even thinking about how long the average shoot for Destroy Build Destroy's episodes go for, these kids must be exhausted. And I feel like he is able to bring their energy back up and make them finish out strong. Anyway, yeah, it's just something that I feel like was kind of worth giving him some props for. I think he's a fun host, and I think as a kid, having someone have this amount of energy to push you through a really long day, and you're probably exhausted and you learn to hate your friends through it all, that's a skill set that's very vital and important for kids. Anyway, let's get back to the show. The Math Club surprisingly wins with the last-second victory, and my boy Anthony, the humble little king that he is, apologizes for doubting Chloe, who really did give it her all and clutched that victory.
You are truly awesome. I am so sorry for my doubts about you.
And the skate team loses with a smile on their faces, and all's well that ends well. But we're not done. We have one more destroy in. Here's where we see the winning team get to absolutely demolish the losing team's car that they spent all day making with each other. Either C4 explosives or a mortar strike. Jesus Christ, that's so brutal for a kid's television show. I literally cannot wait to watch. This is so exciting. Okay, I think that explosion was really worth the wait for the whole episode to watch, because I'm pretty sold on the whole concept of it. We're only going to cover that first episode of Destroy Build Destroy because it gets kind of repetitive if I did any more of this. As far as these crappy Cartoon Network real shows go, this is like the one that I wanted to sit through and watch the most. So this is probably the best, even though this is the one that we just started on. I just remember this one the most. And I think it's awesome that these kids had a great time doing it. I mean, if I was their age again, I would love to see something that I worked hard on get destroyed with mortar strikes as a finale to end my day off, even if I didn't win $1,000, but I would also really like $1,000. I mean, you also get to spend a whole day with Andrew WK, so I think that'd be pretty fun. But who knows, I am more than happy to do more episodes talking about Destroy, Build, Destroy and stuff like that. So again, leave a like if you remember the show and you'd like to see more of it, and leave a comment down below if you'd like to see me do more with it. Hey everyone, this is me, the Apache Ninja in the future. I literally had just finished editing that whole video, and I realized I didn't really do an outro. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching and sticking around to the very end. I appreciate you sticking around, especially after my long absence. I apologize for that. I actually had like 2 videos I was in like the middle of working on. I got about halfway through both, if I'm being honest with you guys, and I decided to just scrap them. They weren't on the standard that I'd like them to be. But maybe one day I'll release them, maybe as like a private video or something, or unlisted, I'm not sure. Maybe I'll finish them and just upload it. They don't make me proud, but maybe you guys will like them. I don't know. Who's to say? But anyways, moving forward, we're going to be talking a lot more about CN Real shows. I was serious about wanting to watch through most, if not probably all of these, so get ready for the chaos that will ensue with that. Thank you all so much for watching and sticking around to the very end. I appreciate you all. Hope you all have a great, lovely rest of your day. If you liked this video and you haven't already, please give it a like. If you have any suggestions for other things or whatever show you think I should prioritize for the next video covering CN Real, leave a comment down below. Let me know any fun memories you had watching these shows, if you even liked any of them. I'm not going to try to be a commentary YouTube channel. Well, maybe. Who's to say? Who's to say? Who knows what's going to happen here? And if you're new to the channel and you like what I do, please drop a subscribe. It means a lot to me. And if you want to get notified about my next upload, click that bell button. Anyways, guys, thank you all so much. I'll catch you all in the next one.
Don't you want a rematch?